Info-Edge-backed online education startup Meritnation has something for everyone. The whole K-12 segment courseware, test prep and soon to be launched assessment tools for teachers make it a one-stop shop for all curriculum-related needs. Started in 2009 by two IIM graduates, it has recently crossed a user base of over 5.6 million and hoping to run through 7 million by end of the current academic year. We caught up with co-founder and MD Pavan Chauhan to check up on their growth and know how are they planning to move further from this milestone. Hi, today we have with us Mr. Pavan Chauhan, co-founder and MD of Meritnation, the online education company for K-12 segment. Hi Pavan, thanks for joining us. Why don't you start by telling us, how the growth has been since you started, and then, maybe you can tell us how the journey been.
So we launched our website in January 2009. So it's now been slightly over 4 years that we've been live. The journey has been tremendous, so starting from zero, now we have almost, 56 lakh, 5.6 million students who are registered on the site. We have students from all across the country. We have almost 8 to 10% of our traffic which comes from the Gulf countries, So the journey obviously, to that extent has been fairly satisfying, and the growth has been tremendous. It's a segment which offers a huge amount of potential.
Yeah. So you have a freemium model. So out of these 5.6 million students, how many are the paid subscribers?
So paid subscribers is a figure which I'm not very comfortable sharing specifically, but we've been seeing a 3x kind of a growth year on year in the paid subscribers. So to that extent, and especially the fact that the market is fairly underpenetrated, the potential to grow is tremendous.
And what kind of a conversion rate are you seeing as of now?
So it's see, if we look at the business from the right perspective, what happens is you might have a student who's currently in, say, 6th standard. Now, potentially, the students would go paid over a period of time. So, they might consume the free content for a year and might go paid the next year. So, defining conversion rates actually becomes extremely difficult, because it's a business which also offers a huge amount of renewal potential. So, potentially, if you have a student from 1st standard and you deliver a great product and quality experience to the student, you have the potential of getting the student to renew for next 11 years.
True.
So, conversion rates have to be looked at in that perspective. So, there is defining conversion rate becomes tricky. So, even today we have students who signed up, in 2009 and who went paid now, for example. So.
And what kind of daily sign-ups are you seeing?
So, we have daily sign-ups. We have in the vicinity of 5 to 6,000 every day. 5 to 6,000 students who join every day. Last year alone, we added almost 22 lakh students.
And what are some of the new features that you've added in the last 1 year to the site?
So we initially in the first couple of years we were majorly a CBSE focused site, CBSE and ICSE boards. Last 1 year, there are a couple of other directions that we picked. We are focusing on the test prep space, IIT medical and other entrance exam space, because we are already getting students who are either in 11th or 12th grades. We are already getting those students on our site. So it makes a lot of sense for us to offer them products which will be more relevant to them, and test prep falls in that category very clearly. And the need is also very clearly established. Apart from that, we have started, moving to state boards. So now we have, we launched Maharashtra board content. We launched Karnataka board, Kerala board. We are now launching Tamil Nadu board. So we are now looking at geographical expansion and looking at various state boards. Quite a few of these state boards are much bigger than CBSE. So you can imagine the kind of potential they have to offer.
And you were talking about your plans of going into B2B also. If you can share more about that.
So we have so we worked on a couple of very exciting products which are largely in the space of assessment, meant for teachers. Okay. So we are looking at now going to schools with those products, wherein the product plays a very supporting role to an educator. An educator in a matter of minutes can create extremely good quality assessments. They can be assigned online, students can then log in and take those assessments online, or they can be assigned offline as well. So we are now starting to go to schools.
Okay. So you will be approaching them with this product and not the original product. You are not looking at associating with that product with schools.
So we'll explore that as we move ahead, but very clearly, so there are two ways of looking at it. One of the thoughts is our existing retail product can work very well with the assessment product that we are talking about for teacher, right? So it can be integrated very well. That is one of the directions we are looking at. But we are also looking at this as a standalone independent product, which might make sense for the educators.
Okay. Also, as per InfoEd's numbers, Meritnation saw a loss of 21.4 crore on sales, even as your revenues grew up by, I think, 140%. So, how is that? And
see, it's important to understand the kind of business that we are in. So creating good quality content, for example, you obviously have to incur a lot of expenditure. It has a certain gestation period. It takes time. I talk about test prep, for example, of state boards. To launch any one product, imagine the kind of content which has to be created for that.
Sure.
So you have to make those investments. So we've been making significant investments, in product and content. Because it's extremely important. See, one of the biggest challenges that have to be overcome for anyone looking at the e-learning space has to be, what the experience of the students is, so that it leads to a much better engagement with the product. So you have to continuously fine-tune the product. And content is again something which you have to invest a lot. And then we've also been focusing on brand building. So we've had TVC campaigns, TV commercials we've had. So to that extent, it's all investment that has gone in, which will start showing results as we move ahead.
So do you have a runway? When do you think will you reach break-even?
Breaking even, the relevant question is at what level you want to break even, right? So, for example, last April we broke even, March, April we broke even. But then, you want to go after growth because it's an under-penetrated market and there is a huge potential to grow. And then you want to invest more. Sure. So, the thing is there is a huge opportunity to invest. That's what we've been doing continuously. So at the current level, if we have to, we have to break in at the current level, I would say that would be a few months away. But there are significant opportunities to invest, and we are, we would like to go for the growth. We are clear leaders in our space. We are poised nicely to, leverage our position, and so the direction is with respect to, investing and moving to the next level of growth.
And to give a perspective, what would be your average revenue per student that
Average revenue per student would be in the vicinity of 4,000 to 5,000. That's a kind of annual subscription that a student typically takes on the site.
So what are your near-term expansion plans in, say, next 1 year?
So next 1 year, as I told you, we are focusing on test prep, continuing to focus on test prep and the state boards. We have a lot of content which can be very nicely repurposed and offered for various state boards. We are revamping our product for junior grades. There is a huge amount of potential there as well. The next in line for us would be the international market. So we have a lot of experience of a number of years, in the space of creating content aligned to, curricula, aligned to international curricula. So we work very closely with the curricula of 10 to 12 US states and Canadian states. We've worked with, the curricula for Australia. So we have a fair bit of experience there with respect to creating content which is aligned to those curricula. So we'll be looking at that space once we, we've figured out, once we move ahead in the direction of the domestic market. Since we already have experience some experience in that market, we understand that market. So there are gaps, and there are gaps which can be addressed very well.
And what would be some other revenue streams that you're looking at to enter?
So we are also looking at a blended learning kind of model. So we opened and we had an offline center that we opened last year as a pilot center. The approach again is a customized learning kind of an approach. It's a very different approach. It's more of a flipped classroom kind of model. So we're experimenting with that. We got very encouraging results. in last 1 year. So we will be looking at scaling that up. That is one direction. We would also be in a month's time launching a product for tutors.
Okay. Private tutors.
Yes. So that is another direction that we are looking at. And as I told you, this is a product for schools that we are again going to go to schools with.
What kind of trends do you see in the industry? It's an emerging market, online education. A lot of players are coming up. So, as a leader in the market, some few trends if you can share.
See, there is, contrary to what we thought we would see when we launched Meritnation, we believed that we'll get almost all our traffic from the bigger cities.
Okay.
That's not what we are seeing. We are seeing a fairly significant traffic that we are getting from smaller towns. And there are a variety of reasons for that. The key challenge for anyone in this space today is to figure out the engagement piece. How do you get the student to engage very well with the product? You can get them to come to the site the first time, but how do you get them to come back to the site often enough? How do you become, more mainstreamish in the scheme of things, which is happening over the last 3 to 4 years. The market is hugely underpenetrated. I think we're just scratching the surface. There is a lot of competition coming up now, and I think there is a lot of space as well. It will help grow the market much more. We've now started to go to the state boards, which again offer a lot of potential. So I guess in a fairly underpenetrated market as it is, I think there's a lot of scope. One needs to get the model right. See, it's a fairly complex product, and you can slice it in a number of ways: board-wise, grade-wise, subject-wise. So junior grades and needs are different, high grades and needs are different. So getting the product right, that is extremely important, and that's what you have to focus on.
And what kind of milestones are you looking to achieve in the next 12 months?
So we would be, by the end of this academic year, we would be looking at a registered student base of around 7 million. And I think we should be able to continue with that kind of a growth as we move ahead.
Great. Thanks
Thank you
for
so
talking
much.
to me. Thanks.